My neighbor kept filing fake noise complaints against me, so I recorded everything and proved he was the one making all the noise. My name is Evan Morales, 27, and I live in a quiet neighborhood in Colorado, or at least it used to be quiet, until my new neighbor, Greg Whitman, moved in. Greg was the type of guy who believed the entire world should operate around his comfort. The neighborhood welcomed him warmly, but he returned the favor by terrorizing everyone with petty complaints. The guy once reported another neighbor for having lawn grass that looked too enthusiastic. Yeah, that kind of person. My problems with Greg began exactly 2 days after he moved in. I was assembling a small dining table at 5 p.m., barely any noise, just light tapping. 30 minutes later, HOA knocks on my door. "We received a noise complaint from your neighbor," they said. I was stunned. I showed them the partially assembled table, and they left, embarrassed. But Greg watched from his porch with this smug little smile, like he won something. I brushed it off. But he didn't stop. Every week, like clockwork, he filed noise complaints for slamming doors, for blaring music when my TV wasn't even on, for running machines, even though I didn't own anything louder than a toaster. It got to the point where the HOA sent me an official warning letter. Further violations may result in fines. That was when I realized Greg wasn't just petty, he was deliberately trying to screw me over. I tried talking to him, calmly, politely. His response? "It's a quiet neighborhood, Evan. Maybe you're just not used to being considerate." He actually lectured me about being a good resident. Then he gave me that same smug smirk and walked inside. That night, I sat on my couch, seething. That's when an idea sparked. Simple, legal, and devastating. If he wanted to play games over noise, I'd give him the kind of noise evidence he couldn't run from. I went to Best Buy the next morning and bought 2 things: a motion-activated outdoor security camera and a sensitive sound level recording device. I set the recorder right by the shared wall between our houses. The camera was facing his property line, not his home, just the boundary. For the next 10 days, I lived my life completely normally, quiet as usual. And every day, new complaints from Greg. Same absurd accusations, same smug face. One night at 2 a.m. though, the recorder picked up loud banging and metallic clanging, not from my side. It was Greg, out in his backyard, hitting something against the fence and yelling. The next day, a noise complaint came in saying that I was the one who made noise at 2 a.m. That was it. I had him. I compiled everything. 10 days of sound logs showing no noise from my house, multiple timestamps showing his yard making loud sounds, footage of him outside banging on the fence at 2 a.m., and a timeline of his false reports. I emailed the entire folder to the HOA board with the subject line, "Formal complaint against neighbor Greg Whitman. Evidence attached." 2 days later, the HOA held an emergency meeting without him. They called me in privately. Every board member looked furious. One of them asked, "He's been blaming you for his own disturbances?" I simply nodded. Greg was hit with a written warning for false reporting, a $350 fine for after-hours disturbance, a mandatory noise compliance inspection, and he was officially flagged as a problem resident. But the best part came the next week. HOA made him attend a community meeting where they publicly addressed a resident submitting multiple fraudulent complaints. They didn't say his name, but everyone knew. After the meeting, the neighbors avoided him like he carried radioactive pettiness. His smug face disappeared permanently. The noise complaints stopped instantly. He never spoke to me again. He couldn't even look me in the eyes. Every time I step outside now, the neighborhood feels peaceful again. Sometimes revenge is just giving someone exactly what they're asking for. The truth, documented and undeniable.